What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video, and today we are going to be talking about this auto-equip feature in Raid Shadow Legends. I want to see how well of a job Plarium did on using it, on programming this feature, right? Because this is meant to be as a stepping stone on how to learn how to build some of these champions. But if it's anything like what they suggest for champion builds or champion gear in the for instance, they're telling me that for recommendations for artifacts for Polara, I want to go with offense and critical rate, which is absolutely doo-doo. Uh, even for early game, right? So we're gonna go ahead and see. We're gonna again. This feature was based for an early to mid game account. We are currently on one of my old accounts. It's got 12 million player power. The builds on this account are not crazy, as you can see. 300 speed Lord Fabian. So it's pretty early or pretty mid to late game kind of content that this account handles. So we're going to go ahead and test this out on a couple of different champions. I want to see what it does towards a defensive nuker, HP nuker, attack-based nuker, pure support, reviver. So we'll do a couple of different builds here. So first of all, let's start off with our Arbiter. The Arbiter has 359 speed. We don't have resistance or accuracy, 55k HP, and 3k defense. So ideally for her, we just cared about one simple thing, and that was speed. So let's go ahead and let's take her out of this team. Probably end up working with all those guys anyways. So let's put these in for our one-man defense. And then let's go ahead and I feel like I should have probably been a little more prepared for this. Let's go ahead and put her in the vault to strip off all her gear. So put it in the resolve vault, remove, and then bring her back out. And let's see, what does the optimizer or the in-game optimizer auto-equip builder with? Okay, so they've got to build, they kind of went more of a tanky route, right? They said, let's focus on HP. Defense is around the same place where I was. Speed is way less than what I was. And they prioritize accuracy on her. Okay, so they're using her more as a reviver instead of a turn meter booster. And they gave her accuracy. Let's take a look at the chest. Was it accuracy? No, it was HP. Banner, they focused on accuracy because I know I have better. Let's see, based on the gear that I did have on her, what did they really use on her? What the heck just happened to the gear I had on her? Are we serious right now? Did it really just delete? I saved it. I saved it. What the hell? Oh my God. All right. Well, I guess we'll have to make sure that we pay a little more attention to this. I'll have to rebuild her. Anyways, it's an alt account. So I'm glad that if I screwed up something, I screwed it up on an alt account. But preset manager, really? Okay. All right. All right. Nothing for Arbiter. What about, wow. Okay. So crazy. All right. So for Arbiter, it really went more of HP support type of situation. Didn't really focus on any sets, right? The only thing we got was a one-piece stone skin. So I think for this, it's a good stepping stone if you're early on trying to build them survivable. And if you're going to use her as a reviver, but ideally you just want Arbiter going as fast as possibly can. So let's build our Lord Fabian next. We're going to go ahead and do this live and go save as champion preset. Okay. Okay, we've got it saved. All right, so now let's go ahead and throw this into the vault and see what we're going to come up with. Move to reserve vault, remove gear. Okay. And then bring Lord Fabian back out. So as a control champion, Lord Fabian, what are they going to tell us? Let me make sure. Oh my God. Once you put it into the vault, it deletes it. Oh, Plarium. Why? That's a massive bug. Oh God, I'm going to have to do some work on this account afterwards. Okay, now I figured out why, because I did say I saved my Arbiter build. So I may have to report that. Guys, pay attention to that. because if you try to remove the gear off of them, you will be coming into this issue. All right. So let's go ahead. I might as well screw up this account more than what it is. Auto equip there, and auto equip with the banners. So it's got them built at 270 speed as opposed to the 300 that I had. And then 462 accuracy. Again, it went more HP and defense friendly. So it looks to build the champions tanky for the content, not specific to their roles, right? As for gear sets, it did look like it took one piece of Swift Parry. It did take two pieces of Impulse and two pieces of Pharaoh. So overall, what would I rate this? I'd rate this probably close to a 3.5 out of 5 because it could have looked for more speed, right? 270 speed for early to mid game content is really good. Again, I'm a little more, um, how do I put this? I'm a little more picky on the pieces of gear that I keep on some of the alt accounts because I don't play them as much. So, you know, but yeah. Okay, so Fabian, decent build. Let's take a look now and see Sun Wukong. Might as well throw him in the vault. Don't even bother with it. But what I do have him currently built with is 192 speed. It's got 128 crit rate because of whatever reason, 5.8k attack, and 239 speed, 295 accuracy. So I'm curious to see, as an attack-based nuker, is it going to prioritize more attack on him, or is it going to prioritize something else? Move to, there we go, then bring him back out. And yes, I know he has Brimstone on him. Don't judge me, please. This is an alt account. So, auto equip, and then auto equip. What are we left with? So, it's got him built with, damn, 277 speed. So now it puts more preferences on an attack-based nuker for speed, 6k attack, but then really hinders our crit damage. And then as for accuracy is 319. Interesting. So it's trying to build them more as a hybrid buff stripper. This is kind of an interesting build that it would pop out. As for sets wise, it looks like we got a 4-piece feral out of it. Again, I don't think that was done on purpose. I think it was just because of the pieces of gear. Speed, yeah, high attack, high speed, high attack, crit damage. Yeah, so that's why I was picking those pieces, right? They were the highest attack. But interesting on the build for this, I would say if you're using them as a buff stripper hybrid, fine. But you're not really going to use them as a buff stripper. Ideally, you'd be looking for like 350 accuracy, closer to like 250 for end game, maybe 200 for early, and then you want to focus with attack and crit damage, right? The speed is kind of too high. We're sacrificing a lot of speed for crit damage. Not really helpful there. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's move on to a different, let's take Rosin Scarhide here. He can be used as a nuker. Some of you may get him pretty early on. So let's go ahead and throw him into the vault. Where am I using Scarhide? Of course, I just put him in there. Geez. Okay. Back to the Bastion. No, we're not buying things. No, stop pressuring me, Plarium. Stop pressuring me. All right, so let's go ahead and throw Rising Scarhead in now. I don't really know what I was using him for, to be quite honest. So I think he was just kind of there, right? Ooh, we got a couple of legendaries here that we need to pull out. All right. So let's go ahead and see what Rosin Scarhide is going to be built with. Auto equip. And the final build that we got for him was 49k HP, 4.7k defense, pretty solid. It looks like this went more for a nuker type of build, so it gave us less speed, focused a little bit more on crit damage, and then 247 resistance. For an early mid-game build, it's okay. Um, I don't like that it didn't give us 100% crit rate because I feel like it probably could have given us 100% crit rate, and it put a little too much focus on the defense, right? So yeah, I think overall for this build, I would probably say a 3. Uh, I'd say actually, yeah, a 3 would be fair because I'd be looking for a lot more crit damage and definitely 100% crit rate. Um, and if we could get a little more accuracy, I'd be happy with that. So defensive wise, not that great. All right, let's see a reviver now. Who do we have here that's a pretty solid reviver? Uh, do we take Kaja? You know what? Scyl the Drake. Scyl the Drakes is somebody that you all are going to get at some point in time. And guys, we are working with, a lot of gear here. So the in-game optimization has quite a bit of pieces that it could choose from for this, right? So let's go ahead and throw Scyl the Drakes into the vault. Where did I put her here? Scyl, you're right there. Move to reserve vault. Okay. All right, so let's see what Scylla the Drakes is going to be built with. Now she's a defensive-based support. So auto-equip, auto-equip. Okay. Um, gear-wise, didn't really prioritize anything. Stats-wise, though, holy crap. Why did it go with so much crit damage? Okay. Wow. So it went with defensive. It prioritized defense, right? Because she's defensive based. But anything over 4.2 is, well, I guess for a support is fine. 214 is kind of slow. 353 accuracy. So it prioritized defense accuracy, it looks like. Um, and it does not prioritize speed as much as it should, or HP, right? So let's take a look at the pieces. We got a triple roll speed here, resistance, defense percentage, and double roll speed here, which is why I chose that. We got accuracy, speed, and defense percentage here. The bottom the gloves, we got triple crit damage, and it had mainstay at defense. I'm sure that it could have picked out something a little bit better. I don't know why. Let's take a quick peek here. Do I have anything that is a defense percentage and let's say speed, right? Because we would need a lot more speed. So we do have this. Um, yeah, we've got a couple of other pieces it would have picked. I honestly would have picked this one because it's got the double speed and it does have the resistance, right? On top of that, so you'd get an extra 40 resistance over this one. So it's kind of nuts that it picked that. Uh, HP, so defense percentage again for the chest, too kind of tough there. Um, okay, for this, I could see because it was speed boots, but the triple crit damage part. Let's see if we should have picked something else here. Let's take that off. Boots, right? Primary stat speed, and then we would want, let's say, defense. So I've got a speed boot. Looks like it would be a little bit better. So it chose this because it's got accuracy. It's got the 40 accuracy on top of that. But Scyl the Drakes, I tend not to build with accuracy. So I feel like this would have been a better speed boot. Plus, it would have given us a set bonus between the chest and the boot. So that would have been a little bit better. Man, look, the auto in-game equip feature is great for end-game players because it just allows us to gear mule a lot more pieces of gear on some of the other champions, right? Um, which can be helpful. When you're farming as much as you're farming and you have limited spots, uh, you're always kind of thinking like, man, this is a really solid piece, and I can definitely use it, and I don't want to sell it, but I don't have the space. So this is really helpful for them. Early game, I think it gives you some false pretenses on what you should be building with the champions, which really makes it makes it kind of horrible to use, honestly, because it tells you that you should be prioritizing like Scyl the Drake's accuracy over some of the other stats. You know, you'd really want her a lot more faster, tankier, and HP if you're building her as a support reviver. Not to say that accuracy is bad, but you really don't worry about building Scyl the Drakes with accuracy because you're not going to use that stun on her, right? It doesn't really help. Um, as for, let's talk about what changes would I love to see. Now, I think a couple of key features for this that would be really, really helpful is number one, if we could basically, as we go in here and we can pick the gear, right? Say, okay, I want you to prioritize speed, right? Just like this. I want you to give medium amounts of defense, medium amounts of HP, and then uh, you know, give a requirement for the gear. So say the next tab here had I could pick, you know, one gear set that I want. Doesn't have to be two like the optimizer, but one. So I would want to build it in relentless. So give me the option to put relentless here, right? Or maybe just a check mark here. Hey, check here if I want relentless, or you know, if I want life seal or whatnot. I think that would be really, really helpful to try to build it. I don't think, you know, will it take a lot more computing power? Obviously. But I think at the same time, it would allow a better experience for the player and then be able to learn how to play it, how to play properly, right? Do I see this taking away the optimizer? Right now, as it currently stands, no. 6 months, a year from now, possibly. Possibly. Because I think it can definitely be improved upon. Unless they go nitty gritty in and allow you to build champs with specific speeds. But let's face it, right now, we don't really worry about speed tuning as much anymore because Plarium's taken that out of the park or out of the game. Speed tuning is kind of gone at this point with enough of the filters that we currently have in here. So I think overall, the feature itself is very, very helpful. It's on the right track. I would definitely caution against using this and thinking that you're going to beat all the content in the game. I think it's going to be helpful for you to build champions. It looks like it builds champions more tanky. And I would love to see, you know, maybe Plarium kind of ask suggestions on some of the champion builds. Because again, you know, when you go in and you look at a champion like Scyl of the Drakes, what it tells you here that you should build her with is kind of funny because where is she? When you look at her, it says that you should build her with, if I can click on the right button, you should build her with defense and life sets, right? So again, this is what it was actually prioritizing, was defensive and then life, right? It didn't really prioritize anything else. It doesn't prioritize speed, and you really do need some speed on your supports. So I think that, you know, a couple of more key changes on it, and overall, I think it'd be great. I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below, though. Where, if, are you using this, right? Where are you using this? Where are you in the game right now? Are you early, mid, late game? What purpose are you using this for? Are you using this for gear muling? Are you using this for to actually build your champions and learn how to play? Do you find it helpful? I am curious as to see what you guys think of this feature. If you guys enjoyed the content, smash that like button up, consider subscribing to the channel, and if you have some time, join us every Sunday, 2 p.m. EST for the Knights of Teleria podcast, where we dive into the world of Raid Shadow Legends, discussing everything from free-to-play strategies to pay-to-win insight, and covering the journey from early to mid-game. Whether you're a newbie or a seasoned player, we have something for everyone. Don't miss out on the Knights of Teleria podcast, the only podcast for Raid Shadow Legends. As always, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other. I'll catch you guys next time.